Chapter 84. Listen and repeat. Conversation. What did he say? He said that he'd take a holiday the following spring. What did she say? She said that she could type that report. What did you say? I said that I'd accompany her to the concert. What did they say? They said that they might be late. What was happening to the candidate? He was being interviewed by the press. What did he say? He said that his opponent was a worthy man. Did he expect to win the election nevertheless? Yes, he did. What did he add? He added that he was expecting a close contest. What did the reporters ask him? They asked him what he would do if he were elected. What did he say? He said that he would improve the schools. What else did he state? He also stated that he would appoint more policemen and firemen. What was he asked then? He was asked if he would increase the rates. What did he claim? He claimed that he would never increase the rates. Where did he say that he'd get more money? He said that he'd get more money from the central government. What did he say? He said that he was going to give a test. What did he tell you? He told us that he was going to give a test. What did she say? She said that we should study Unit 4. What did she tell you? She told us that we should study Unit 4. What did you say? I said that the report wasn't ready. What did you tell them? I told them that the report wasn't ready. What did they say? They said that they were postponing the meeting. What did they tell him? They told him that they were postponing the meeting. What did he tell the class? He told the class a story. Is that girl truthful? She always tells the truth. Is that boy truthful? He just told the teacher a lie. What did he tell you? He told me something, but I didn't hear him. What did he say to you? He said something to me, but I didn't hear him. Vocabulary. A great / good deal, ancestor, as, conjunction, cave in, chapel, close, contest, coal field, contest, countryside, dust, election, fireman, first, adverb, hazard, in the meantime / meanwhile, lie, lime, lime burner, limestone, loyal, mining, not even, objection, opponent, the press, proud, rate, recent, reporter, scarce, shell, situated, Smith terrace houses, truthful, veils, Wales, Welsh, working man, worthy, adjective. Verbs. To accompany, to anticipate, to be determined, to do something, on doing something, to claim, to decrease, to elect, to increase, to kill, to make something out of, to mend, to postpone, to press, to pull up, to shape. Reading. Coal was first used in Britain about 350 years ago. It was used by lime burners who needed a lot of heat to make lime out of limestone or seashells. Coal was later used by smiths who also needed a great deal of heat to shape their iron into useful products. Later, coal became a cheap fuel to heat water, to bake bricks, and to heat people's homes. As wood began to get scarce and expensive in many areas, coal became more and more important. There are now about 25 coal fields in Britain, and one of them is the Southland coal field. Some of the mines in this coal field are situated in narrow valleys near to open countryside. The people of these valleys are proud of their way of life and still have their schools, working men's clubs, chapels, and rows of small terrace houses. Although many of the older mines have now been closed, coal mining is still a major industry in Southland, and one of the many miners still working is Mark Davies. Mark's father was born in a little terrace house in the town, but Mark himself was born on a farm a few miles away because his father had married a farmer's daughter. Like his father, Mark went to work as a miner when he finished school, in spite of his mother's objections. His father had been killed in an accident in the mine. Mark himself is married now to a girl from the town whom he met at school. Both his mother and his wife are determined that Mark's two young sons will not become miners when they grow up. The miners' union is a strong one, and Mark is a loyal member of the union. Mark gets good pay when he works, but there have been a few strikes in the last few years, and mining itself is a dangerous occupation. There is danger from cave-ins and explosions, and coal dust is a health hazard. But these problems have decreased in recent years because of safety precautions taken by the coal board. Mark's ancestors were miners, and his father and grandfather before him were miners. He really doesn't understand any other kind of life, and he is determined to stay in the mines as long as he can make a living for his family. The women keep urging him to try a factory job, but he won't even try to learn it. In the meantime, the women try to earn a little extra money by raising chickens and selling eggs. They would both be pleased if Mark gave up mining and took up farming instead. They are tense and worried every day he is down in the mine until they hear his car pull up outside the house in the evening and know that he is safely home again. In this sentence, the adjective major means main or principal. Thus, coal mining is still a major industry in Southland, can be translated as l'estrazione del carbone è tuttora una delle principali industrie del Southland. In the hypothetical sentence, they would both be pleased if Mark gave up mining. The second would expresses willingness, not conditional mood. The relative pronoun that can also have a temporal meaning, similar to when, after expressions like the/everyday/month/year. Reading comprehension. When was coal first used in Britain? About 350 years ago. Who were the first people to burn coal? The lime burners. What did the smiths need? They needed a great deal of heat to shape iron. What was used as a cheap fuel to heat water? Coal. Why did coal become more and more important? Because wood became scarce and expensive. How many coal fields are there in Britain? About 25. Where are some of the Southland mines situated? In narrow valleys near open countryside. What has happened to many of the older mines? They have been closed. What is still a major industry in Southland? Coal mining. Where does Mark Davies work? In the mines. Where was Mark's father born? In a little terrace house in the town. Where was Mark himself born? On a farm a few miles away. Whom had Mark's father married? A farmer's daughter. What had happened to Mark's father? He had been killed in a mine accident. To whom is Mark married? With a girl from the town. How many sons does Mark have? 2. Is the miners' union a strong one? Yes, it is. Is Mark a good or bad member of the union? He is a loyal member. Why doesn't Mark always get good pay? Because there have been a few strikes. Why is mining a dangerous occupation? Because of cave-ins, explosions, and coal dust. Why have these problems decreased in recent years? Because of safety precautions taken by the coal board. What do the women keep urging Mark to do? To try a factory job. How do the women make a little extra money? By raising chickens and selling eggs. What would please them? If Mark gave up mining and took up farming instead. Grammar indirect speech. Modal auxiliaries. Direct speech. He said, I can come next week. He said, Liz could swim very well when she was young. He said, you may go. He said, I might be there by 10 o'clock. He said, you should/ought to be more careful. He said, you'd better tell the truth. Rules. When transforming direct speech into indirect speech, depending on a past tense verb, modal auxiliaries follow specific rules. Can and may change into could and might. Could, might, should, ought to, had better, would like, and in most cases must remain unchanged. Note that could, when it expresses past ability, can be replaced by was/were able to. Grammar summary. Indirect speech. Conditional sentences type. First, type, probable condition. Second type, improbable condition. Third type, impossible condition. Notes. The first type shows a real or probable situation in the present or future. The second type expresses an unreal or improbable condition in the present. The third type refers to an unreal condition in the past. In indirect speech, only the first type changes tenses. The second and third remain the same. Reading comprehension. Answers. 1. Coal was first used in Britain about 350 years ago. 2. The first people to burn coal were the lime burners. 3. The smiths needed a great deal of heat to shape their iron into useful products. 4. Coal was used as a cheap fuel to heat water. 5. Coal became more and more important because wood began to get scarce and expensive in many areas. 6. There are now about 25 coal fields in Britain. 7. Some of the Southland mines are situated in narrow valleys near to open countryside. 8. Many of the older mines have now been closed. 9. Coal mining is still a major industry in Southland. 10. Mark Davies works in a coal mine in Southland. 11. Mark's father was born in a little terrace house in the town. 12. Mark himself was born on a farm a few miles away. 13. Mark's father had married a farmer's daughter. 14. Mark's father had been killed in an accident in the mine. 15. Mark is married to a girl from town whom he met at school. 16. He has 2 sons. 17. Yes, it is. 18. He is a good member of the union. 19. He doesn't always get good pay because there have been a few strikes in the last few years. 20. Mining is a dangerous occupation because there is danger from cave-ins and explosions, and coal dust is a health hazard. 21. These problems have decreased in recent years because of safety precautions taken by the coal board. 22. The women keep urging Mark to try a factory job. 23. They make a little extra money by raising chickens and selling eggs. 24. It would please them if Mark would give up mining and take up farming instead.